Welcome back to All Things Creepy. I'm your host, Micah James, and this week I have 10 creepy Wikipedia articles for you. Every single one I will be linking in the show notes in case you want to read the whole thing. And just to let you know, this is not like a full deep dive into these articles. I just want to give you the basics of the articles and the situations we're talking about. And I will potentially do deeper dives into some of these as a general thing. And if there's a specific one you want me to do, let me know. We're going to start more meta than creepy, and that is the list of unusual Wikipedia articles found on Wikipedia's site. This list is made up of other people on Wikipedia who decided that these articles were strange, unusual, and or creepy. It's pretty interesting, especially if you're not sure what you want to look up, but you want to read something kind of weird. You can look on this list. Number 2 is where we're going to start getting a little more creepy. Number 2 I chose was Frederick Valentik. He was a pilot who disappeared during a training flight over Bass Strait. Frederick radioed Melbourne flight service at 7:06 p.m. on October 21st, 1978 to report what was essentially a UFO. This unidentified aircraft, according to him, was about 1,000 feet above him, and the landing lights were moving very erratically. His last words were reported to be, "It isn't an aircraft." That's all he was able to get out before he was interrupted by this loud metallic sound that no one has been able to figure out what it was, what it came from. There are theories, but if I go even into just those theories themselves, we will be here all day. Number 3, a lot of people may have already heard of, but that is the article of Jeannie. This is a pseudonym for a pharaoh child who was severely neglected and abused by her father. Jeannie's father decided to start completely isolating her starting at 20 months old. During her first 13 years of life, she spent most of it tied down to her crib or to a child's toilet seat and alone in her room. When she was found, she was extremely malnourished, still in diapers, and couldn't talk. According to her Wikipedia article, and as of doing research, she is still alive, although she unfortunately has trouble doing a lot of basic things that those who weren't isolated are able to do, unfortunately. Number 4, I know I said I'd try to steer clear of true crime, but I feel like it was hard for me to make this list without mentioning Mary Bell. Mary was a young child who took the lives of 2 other younger children who her childhood was already hard, being an unwanted and mistreated child. She did get apprehended and admitted to killing these children, but she got released in the 80s. Not much is known about her besides the fact that she has a child herself and she is also still alive. She has lived under a series of pseudonyms since then, but her case is just really interesting. It's definitely something worth looking into. Number 5 is the Voynich manuscript. I think I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, let me know. But this manuscript is a text that dates back to the 15th century northern Italy. It is written in this unknown language that many people have not been able to decipher yet. It also has many weird illustrations of people, plants, and animals. Because no one has been able to decode this manuscript, they have named it after a Polish book dealer named Wilfred Voynich, who ended up buying it in 1912 to include it into his own collection. Number 6 is something that I'm definitely going to be doing a episode on, but that is the black-eyed children or kids. They are also known as BEKs, and they're usually unknown creatures many people chalk up to an urban legend. I say unknown because many people can't seem to agree on whether BEKs are aliens, demons, or something else altogether. They tend to look like completely normal children except for their eyes, which are completely black. Many people have reported to encountered them, and have felt a terrible sense of dread and terror and other really weird shit happening. So that does beg the question, if people have felt this genuine fear and this stuff that really happened, it does beg the question of, is this really a legend? And they are often connected with the Men in Black. Number 7 is Tarare. Again, if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, please let me know, but Tarare. This man was a soldier and a showman who was most well known for his appetite. He lived for only 26 years, from 1772 to 1798. It was said that he could eat the same amount as 15 men, but in one sitting. It is said that he ate corpses and was once accused of eating a toddler. His whole story is just super interesting. So if you want, while it's not necessarily creepy in and of itself, I might do this as a bonus episode just because his whole story is just super intriguing. Number 8 is the euthanasia coaster. This was a concept coaster, and the idea behind it is that the ride could kill you. It's meant to be like a humane way of helping people kill themselves, essentially, as it would give riders a euphoric and elegant ending to their lives. Because like when you're on a roller coaster, it releases dopamine, so it lets you go out with a bang, you know? And in theory, it would kill you in just a single ride. But if it didn't, again, this is all in theory. They didn't build it, so no one knows for sure. But if it did not kill you in that single ride, you definitely have some sort of problems, and they would let you go again. So hopefully it would kill you on the second go. Number 9 is scaphism. This is a supposed Persian torture method. The reason why I say supposed is because there's not enough documentation to say that it was actually used. It was definitely written about, but there are no reports saying that anyone was actually tortured with this method. The victim would be tied between 2 boats and force-fed and covered in honey and milk. He would be left out in the sun while he's eaten alive by insects. Again, this thing is one of those things where it's, in theory, it happens, but because there's no documentation of it actually happening, well. And finally, number 10, this one is also very interesting. It's the story of Benjamin Kyle. Benjamin is best known for having one of the most severe cases of amnesia in America. He is also the only known person to be labeled missing despite his whereabouts being known. And he was found in 2004 with no identification or known family members. He couldn't remember the last 20 years of his life. However, through DNA evidence, it was revealed that Kyle was actually this man named William Burgess Powell, and he was able to reconnect with old family and friends. But the really creepy part about Benjamin Kyle's story is that there's still a 20-year gap in his life where there's no documentation of where he was. There's still nothing to point to like where his like social security number was, where his license went, anything like that. So this is still labeled a mystery because like what the hell happened in that 20-year period where he couldn't remember anything. And as of recording this episode, he is still alive as of recording. So who knows, maybe he'll get bits and pieces back, but amnesia is kind of like one of those things that happen where sometimes people get their memory back, sometimes they don't. So who knows? Again, all of these articles will be linked in the show notes in case you want to read the full articles. And if there's a specific one that I talked about or a specific creepy Wikipedia article that you know of and you want me to do a full episode on, let me know and I will do my best to cover it. I will be seeing you guys next week for the next episode of All Things Creepy. Follow me on all my social media as well. That's also in the show notes. I'll see you guys next time.